All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Track World News Podcast. Today we have amazing individual who's joining the show. You've heard him all over the internet right now. I think just been absolutely blowing up. I'm sure you've been getting a lot of messages, DMs, and everything like that. The fastest man in the world right now. You've seen him, Christian Miller, run a 9.93, youngest individual to ever go sub 10 in the 100 meters. Two-time U20 world champion, multiple-time national champion, University of Georgia commit. You can see it all over. He's repping the red and black proudly. Christian, thanks for joining today, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Of course. And so got to start it off. So your high school, Creekside, I can see is red and black. You're going to Georgia, red and black. How much did the colors play into the fact that you're going to Georgia here?
Well, I will say my favorite color is red. And so that definitely when I put on those jerseys, it really felt good to see myself in red and black again. But I say that was kind of just a bonus added to being able to commit to the University of Georgia.
There you go. Yeah, it's same here. My favorite color is red. So hearing that, love that for you, man. But so what went into that decision? And obviously, you posted a lot about your decision-making process. There's a ton of schools, pretty much every school in the entire nation. You have the pick of the litter where it is that you want to go. What really just made you seem like, all right, Georgia is home for me, and that's where I want to spend the next few years?
I say definitely Coach Carroll and Coach Hill and their recruiting process. They started recruiting me about sophomore summer, and I just built this really strong relationship with both of them. And I felt like they could both train me to where I needed to be at. And along with the rest of the coaching staff, I felt like I could get to where I need to be. And also because I know a lot of athletes that are going there, well, are already there, like Michael Larry and Brody Buffington and Makai Gammons and all of them. I've known them and raced a couple of them. So just knowing I have that little strong, that hardworking environment there too, I definitely fed into it. And it felt like a whole big family. And I feel like it would really learn and develop there.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting 4x1, I'm sure, next year with you all going through there. And hopefully, maybe we'll see in any. Can we see in any 400s or 4x4s? Obviously, they got the indoor world record holder. So could we see it maybe venturing out there at all? When you're getting started in college.
I wouldn't say that's my preference, but I definitely know Coach Carroll's going to throw me in a 4x4.
All right, there you go.
Bound to happen.
Bound to happen at least once or twice. Well, cool. Best of luck when you get started, get on campus at Georgia. I'm sure we're all really looking forward to what that's going to look like. And so let's get things started. You are now the fastest man in the world, and you still can't legally drive, I guess, by yourself. What's it like to be able to say, hey, I'm the fastest guy in the world, and I'm still just 17 years old right now?
It's definitely a great feeling. I can't do anything with it, but just thank God for giving me this opportunity. And a lot of it reminds you just how much work I put in, how much I've been blessed with to get this position. But another portion of it is just reminding myself to always stay humble no matter what accomplishment or achievement that I'm at. So it's definitely something new, and I'm still kind of getting used to it because you don't always hear the fastest man in the world in your everyday life. So getting used to that still thing, but I'm definitely grateful and blessed for the opportunity.
For sure. And so with that, being the fastest man in the world, so you did that on the 20th, Saturday, and then you're going back to school on Monday. What did school look like on Monday, the 22nd, first day back after you're doing that? Take me in. What's it like for you?
School was something. It was just because everybody had, at that point, since how much had been posted, everybody has seen it, from all my friends to just people I knew around school, people that have seen me at school, coaches, other sports, my teachers. So it was just a big congratulation party almost my first day or two back. And it's just crazy to everybody that like, well, the fastest man in the world is going to our school. And so it was a pretty nice experience, to be honest.
There you go. Were you able to finish all homework assignments over the weekend, get all that stuff in on time on Monday?
Yeah, I found some time on Sunday, I'd say, to get some work done.
There you go. Yeah, if that was me, you're a bigger man than me. I wouldn't have been able to do it. I wasn't doing anything. Everything's coming in late. You're just gonna have to figure it out. Be like, why? Be like, I was fast there. I'm gonna be slow right now. You'll get that on Tuesday. So, bigger guy than me. Bigger guy than me. Awesome. And so we saw a couple, I guess like a day or so ago, I think it was Track All Access that did the workout video, seeing you and your teammates and everybody, pushing along. Like, could you take us inside that practice of, obviously while track is a very individualized sport, there's a lot of people, whether it's the coaching staff, you got your teammates that are pushing you along, each and every day. Like, what's that like? Who's that support staff or some of the people that you've got that are helping you along the ways and keeping you moving there?
I'm at practice. It's just usually my coach will kind of want me to kind of be more on the side and focus, but usually I'll be with my team most of the time. Like my teammates will be out there because like most of them are from like my high school team, a lot from my club team. So like off the top of my head, like we have Josh, Jaden, Zakai, Mike, Jonathan, and Birch. They're probably all the most that I will be around while I'm trying to practice and sprint around. And we have our little competitions at practice and our little pushing each other every rep. So I'd say it's definitely good in an environmental wise, and also just trying to help each other get better each day, I say.
Awesome. There you go. And so want to take you back, I guess, to I think it was last year for the U20s. You're able to get be the champion in both the 100 and the 200. What was that experience like? Because we know, unfortunately, that's not something that's going on this year with the World 20s for Team USA. But what was it like, last year, be able to hoist that and being like, hey, I'm a world champion, here and able to be able to hold that to your name?
I said that was definitely last year. Definitely a new experience because that was probably the biggest meet I ran in at that point. So going into it, I was surprisingly I wasn't really as nervous as I usually would be for a big track meet. So I kind of just went out there and ran my best each event. And after both events, it kind of just set in a little later that I had gone out there and won the U20 championships, and I just turned 17 a couple months ago. And so I just kind of looked at that. That really set the stage for what was about to occur, because I knew I definitely wasn't done after that, and I had a lot more left. So that just kind of set the tone for what was going to happen this year.
There you go. And so far, getting these fast times early on, was this something that was in the plan? Obviously, you want to always run as fast as you can, and you ran really fast in the prelim at the competition. But was this something that you and your coach were going for, or was it when you crossed the finish line, it was like, holy crap, I can't believe what I just done?
I'd say anytime that for every meet, I'm always trying to be able to run to my best ability and execute my race the best that I can. And so time-wise, really anything of how good I run or how bad I run, that's really all in God's plan. So I kind of just go into every meet making sure that I'm going out and executing. And I know that he has a plan for me every single track that I run in. So whether that's good, bad, great, horrible, I'm just know that's all part of his plan. And so it's just a matter of time. So I see what happens.
There you go. And it's it definitely coming up early. Like, congratulations, great way to get the thing rolling, and being at that top. I know I saw a lot from like Noah Lyles reposting and commenting and everything like that. And so how's it feel now to be once, I know I saw in the interview you had before with Fitzroy, of being like, yeah, like, watching these guys, the Noah Lyles, Christian Coleman's, the Usain Bolts, and now being uttered in the same sentence of these gentlemen, of like, okay, I went from I'm watching them to now, you know, I'm going to be at the start line against some of these guys in the next couple months. You know, what's the feeling like there?
All right, I said because it was just when like 2022. I say when I was watching the World Championships and I watched Noah Lyles run the American record in the 19.3. I'm just watching it. I'm thinking in my head, I'll think like further down the line, I'll be like thinking that at some point I'll have to line up, you know, finger to finger on the line against these type of people. And then about 2 years later, it's looking like I'm gonna have to be at the trials lined up right next to all the greats that I've watched over the course of my 17 years. So it's an amazing accomplishment to reach. And I know it'll definitely be a great experience for me.
Yeah. If you were to
trying to get into my college.
Sorry about that. Had some lag on my end. And so if you were to compare kind of your sprint, whether it's like technique or the cues you're looking for, or just your racing breakdown, what athlete that's on the pro circuit would you say you're close? You're like, yeah, I think I'm closest related to, you know, a Christian Coleman and Noah Lyles, whatever it might be.
That's a tough one. I said, since I run like really tall, I'd say like right now I'd be pretty compared to someone like Noah Lyles. But yeah, I would say Noah Lyles. Now if we go on like a height standpoint, I might be a little bit closer to Christian Coleman. I'm not really on the tallest side, but I'll still run like pretty tall. So I'd say probably like running style, I'd probably say like Noah Lyles, to be honest.
There we go. It's all cool, man. I'm also not on the taller side. It's a short king spring, so we gotta respect that. Nah, it's all cool. It's all cool. And so you were talking earlier, you're saying, hey, you're gonna be lining up, you know, finger to finger at the Olympic trials with some of these guys. And we saw Erriyon Knighton, you know, make the 200 team for USA when he was in high school. We haven't really seen that happen with the 100. So with your what are you and your coach kind of going through of like, you know, what will it take? Obviously that is months away. There's plenty of track meets and proms and all that stuff coming in between now and then. But you know, what's kind of like the game plan going to be like for, you know, when we come to that Olympic trials here?
I say because, you know, the thought of the trials has kind of been always just up in the air since last year. So I'd say we're just going to continue training how we are and trying to get closer and closer and prepare me more and more to not just run at that certain speed, but definitely be able to do it multiple times against a lot faster competition. Because I know when I get to the trials, I'll be running against the nation's best. So I don't know. I have to be on my A game.
You mentioned that, and so you went from this previous meet, or, you know, at Claremont. So you're like, hey, you're going up against some professionals that are, you know, they do this for a living. It's like this is what their job is. And then I know when we were going back and forth trying to find a time, you know, to schedule this, you're like, hey, I got a district meet that we got going on. So you go from, you know, running against professional athletes to, you know, people that are doing this, you know, not at that level, where I'm sure you're up against. You go from people that run 9.9 to people that run 10.9 in the matter of 3 days. Like, do you turn it off? Like, I don't know if turning it off or turn it down. Like, are you trying to run 10.0 when you're going up against these people that are running 10? Like, what's that like? You know, that's such a drastic change in ability that you're going up against.
I said I kind of just race every single opponent that I race against, whether it's like a high school that I'm racing or a college athlete or a pro athlete, world champion, Olympian, world record holder. I look at them all as just people that are lined up next to me trying to obtain the same thing that I am, and that's winning whatever race that we are doing and trying to run our best. So every single race I kind of just go in and only just focus on my race and just execute whatever I need to execute. So the people that are lined up next to me doesn't really phase me or really make me think about nothing.
Yeah. Doing what it takes to win. So are you trying to drop them like, are you dropping like 10.09s on like in like a dual meet, or is it, you know, at the end, you you're 5 meters out. It's like, all right, let me dial it back a little bit. I ain't got to run a 10:01 can time against some people.
I'd say there's definitely some meets where you'll kind of just get to that point where you'll get out and you'll run. But there's certain meets where you don't really need to be going like you're 100% because there's just no point in doing it. And it's not really because of the people that you're racing against, but it's just a matter of when that track meet is and what you have planned to do. And so you just kind of have to be smart in how you run and how much effort you put in. Like for me, there's a lot of high schoolers that are currently running like a lot of track meets, and I'm not necessarily doing the same thing. And so I say you just kind of have to be smart with what you want to do by the end of the year and what you choose to do in that time period.
Yeah. Time and place for everything, I guess, figure out where it is. And so yeah. I was checking out your MileSplit account. I got a couple questions. So there's some things on there that's not just sprints. It was saying you were doing some high jump. You were throwing shot put. I saw some javelin in there as well, the 1500. Were you looking into like doing a multi at some point? What are some of these results that I'm seeing for, shot put and all this other stuff?
I'd say there was a point, I think I was maybe like 11 or 12, but I was trying to do the pentathlon, I'm pretty sure, because there was a time where I wanted to do hurdles, and my coach was like, you don't have a hurdle time to just go out there and do hurdles. And it was like the 110 hurdles, and I didn't really know what I was doing. So then he put me in a pentathlon so I could just do the 80-meter hurdles. And then in that pentathlon, I think it was shot put, hurdles, high jump, long jump, and a 1500. So those were where those came from. And the javelin is probably because for districts you need 5 individual meets. And so since I'm not running as much during the year, I usually don't have those high school meets. So I'll probably get entered in a high school meet and just throw the javelin a couple times. So that's also where that came from. So, yeah.
All right, there you go. I was like, wait a minute, I don't picture this guy running, like throwing jab, shot put. I was like, all right, there you go. So pentathlon could have been the, following the footsteps of Grant Holloway when he was doing all that in high school. So, well, there you go. And so got some like, I guess, quick hitters and some other ones before we're wrapping up. So Florida is definitely one of the premier sprinting or just track and field states in the nation. So I want you to rank these three states for me when it comes to sprinting and who's the best from a sprint perspective. You got Florida, Texas, and California. Who do you got where when it comes to the sprinting abilities?
I say order, in my personal opinion, I have number 1 at Florida, of course. Number 2, I'll put Texas, and 3, California.
Why in that order?
I say just looking at overall history, for Texas, because there's always a big debate between Florida and Texas that's been going on since before I was even in high school. And I feel like Texas will always kind of have like a lot of – they'll have like a lot of teams that are almost like running around like the same fast time. So they have like multiple fast sprinters. But for the past few years, and like if you look at like the overall like all-time rankings, it'll be like in the 100, like top 5, most of them will all be from Florida. So like Florida's really known for like producing like a couple like really like high caliber world-class athletes. And then Texas will kind of have like a lot of multiple athletes that can kind of duplicate like the same like 10-4, 10-4, 10-5, 10-5. So that's also why they have such great relays there too, because they can have like 3 or 4 10-4s on the same exact team, and that can definitely run like a 30, 39, 38. So I say that, but like an all-time like ranking list, I would probably have Florida at top, just for the 1 to 2. Like if you go to high school all-time, we have Assam Assam and me both in the 100 and 200. It's Assam at number 1, and I think number two should be Noah Lyles, and I think number 3 might be Ariane Knighton. But yeah, so 2 Florida and 2 Florida, and then I would say California. I've known California like a really like a faster state, but for some reason I haven't really heard or seen that much on that end. I remember Roderick Pleasant when he used to run there. I used to race him a lot, but I haven't really seen like that much from California. But that's also because I don't really check the rankings that much, so I could be completely wrong. But that's just my personal rankings.
That's fair. That's fair. I can see that. And then next ranking for you, ankles. So during races, race competitions, ankle socks, crew socks, no socks. Rank those 3.
I think I'm pretty sure I wear more crew socks when I run. So I probably say, I'll probably still say ankle socks, crew socks, and no socks.
So you're not. So everyone that's team no socks, they're crazy. Can't do it. Not part of the tribe.
I can't run with no socks. I don't know why. I think I tried it before, but my feet will just feel like so uncomfortable in my shoe, and I'll just feel like I'm slipping every time. So I definitely need that sock supporting.
I'm right there with you. I get like sweaty feet. I can't do it. It'll be gross. It'll be nasty. Nah, not doing it, man. And then
right.
What would right after a big competition? So it could be maybe even after your 993. What is your like post race meal? What's your favorite thing to go eat right after? You know, maybe it's a big win, a big competition. Favorite post meet meal?
I say post meet. Most of the time, I will probably see the Popeyes in some form of area around because I've loved Popeyes since I was in middle school. Coach Carroll, do not kill me for that, but I'll definitely try to find a Popeyes right after my track meets for sure.
What's the go-to order at Popeyes?
I said usually a 4-piece with 2 wings and 2 legs, and then I'll usually just get a side of fries and lemonade to drink, and that's pretty much it.
That's good. Spicy or regular? See, I'm a big Popeyes fan myself, so you got the right one for Popeyes. Spicy or regular for you?
Most of the time I'll do regular, but sometimes I will get spicy, but mostly regular.
There you go. That's pretty good. Their Cajun fries are elite. The fries they got there, criminally underrated. They might be the best fries in the game. I'm not gonna lie.
They might be. Their fries are amazing.
They right there. I like the spicy. I go with the spicy tenders. I like the blackened ranch. That's my favorite. That's what I go to. No, I might have to go get Popeyes right after this. You might have just started something. So glad to see. And so you know you have a great race like that. You know how do you plan on continuing to translate the rest of that competition through the rest of this season? You know, using that momentum and what's the main focus? I mean, I'm sure you took a look at the footage. It's kind of hard to probably look at things to touch on of like, oh, what can I change? What can I do when you're running that fast? But what are the rest of these focuses like as we finish out the season here?
I say because in tracking, there's really no such thing as a perfect race. So I feel like there's always things I can go back and work on. And so after every race, I always just take my race video and just kind of see like where I could be better. Well, first I'll go and look and see what I was supposed to do and I didn't do. So I always look at that. And if I don't see anything that I wasn't supposed to do, then I'll say, okay, what did I do great and how can I do that even better? Because I'm never at a point where I'll just run my race and be like, yep, that was perfect. I want to stay right there. Like after every race, I always want to go out and do more than whatever I just ran. So I'm always trying to get more out of it. So I always look back and try to see where I can improve. And I kind of let that feed into my practice and kind of work on a few things and make sure I can improve on that next time I race.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Christian, on the season so far. I know it's crazy because in high school you're like in the middle of the season with with like the pro circuit. It's like, yeah, this is the start of the season. It's kind of wild, but congratulations so far. Looking forward to seeing how the rest of this year turns out, especially as we get close to the Olympic trials here. Where could people go to find you, whether it's on social media or anything like that?
I say they can go to my social media. I think I remember. I've changed my username quite a bit, but I'm pretty sure if you were to just go into the search bar and just type in my name, Christian Miller, my Instagram will definitely pop up. That's probably the most I'll post on to kind of just follow what I'm doing, where I'm running at, and things like that, results and different things like that. So definitely there.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Well, thank you so much, Christian. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Really appreciate you taking the time here today, and hope you enjoyed the episode. Have a good one. Peace.